Hey everybody, it's Tracey from Tracey's Art and Craft here, and we're here for another chat, chill and collage day. This is what I did last time, but I do have a couple of extras that I did when I just wanted to relax and watch some telly and collage. So they're the extra ones I've done. I'm going to do a new one today. And then I thought after I've done this one, we can turn one of these into some journaling cards to show you how I do that. Sorry about all this writing, ignore all of this, it will get covered. So I have some of my papers with me today. I am in desperate need of this. I'm so stressed, it's unreal. Not just because Christmas is on the way, but because our car has broken down. I've still got family that need my help, but the car is absolutely destroyed. And it's on its way out, it really badly is. So that's not what you need just before Christmas. And then I still have a ton of things to do before Christmas as well. I've got loads of studying to do, so everything's just on my plate at the moment. So just to sit down and relax for 5 minutes is going to be nice. And I've currently got my kids being silent upstairs and in the kitchen and whatnot. They've been told to go away and shut up. I don't know. Can you tell? So yeah, just mindlessly again, picking up paper, ripping it, sticking it down. Don't worry about too much where you're putting things, just sort of plop them down wherever. There's no need for, you know, precision or anything. It really comes together at the end. I can hear somebody outside, sorry. Just wondering what they're doing. So these printables, these ones are Tina from Shabby Dabby Doodah. These ones are Art Smart Digital Craft. Down in the description box below, I've got them all down there. I think she's changed the name more recently from Art Smart, but yeah, these are all just digital prints if you want to use your printer. Hang on 1 second, who's at my door? I'm filming. What do you want? I haven't got your drink. I'm filming. I'm now going to have to cut that, go away. My days. So yeah, that was my husband. Whether I've cut that or not, I don't know. Everybody's getting on my nerves. I wish it all just go away. School holidays, eh? The fun of it. No, I love them to bits. I do. I love them, and I do enjoy when they're home. But sometimes, you know, it all just gets on top of you and drives you crazy. And he is currently supposed to be going and giving my parents a lift somewhere, and for some reason he's faffing about a drink. So that's how today's going for me. So yeah, after I've done this, my plan is, I've got a little bit of housework to do, but once I've done that, my plan is to do a big sort out of my craft room. I would bring you along, but the problem is I've got a lot of my children's pictures about, and I'd have to like pull all them down before and things like that, and I don't really have time today. But what I might do is once I've done it, I might give you a tour of my craft room so you can see a little bit of what it's like. Like I said, I've got to pull down everything of my children's stuff, but you can see, because we've got our living room split in half, and because we don't have many guests come round, we tend to go around other people's a lot, and we don't have many people actually come round here. What we've done is we have half our living room is for the gamers, which we all game in to a certain degree, so we've got TV, computer, things down one side of the room. And then on the other side of the room, we have the crafting side where all the crafting stuff is stored, and all of my children have access to it. I don't limit them. So my daughter, who's an artist, who's my eldest, who's moved out, she also comes around. When she comes around, she pulls out some bits and has a go on my things too. And then I've got a younger daughter. She also likes it. I've got a boy who is into art, but he's more into the sketching side of art. So he uses some of my papers and things, but generally, unless his schoolwork calls for it, he doesn't really use my things. So yeah, I thought I'd show you how I store things and how they're all stored. They're all sort of pretty much hidden away in cupboards. I do have a few shelves. You'll get to see my broken shelf, which I'm so upset about. Well, I'm redecorating anyway in the new year, so that shelf can come down and I'll put something new up there instead of that shelf that I broke. But you know, trust me to go and break something, you know. I am one of those people that are super mega clumsy. I walk through life just creating trouble for myself. This paper is also Tina's from Shabby Dabby Doodah. I do prefer digitals to scrapbook paper, although I do have some scrapbook papers and I do use them from time to time. No, digitals are my favourite, because then I've always got them. I can print them off whenever I want. They're all on my computer and it's quite cheap. It's a cheap way to do it. Obviously you need a good printer for it to be cheap. For ink, I have, in case you want to know what the printer is, I have a HP Smart Tank Plus 555, and you fill up, it is an inkjet, it's not a laser, but you fill up the bottles that are in there of ink and it actually works out cheaper. So I can print a lot more on that printer. It just prints and prints and prints. It comes with 3 years worth of supplies, but mine did not last 3 years because I do print off so much. But the only one I've topped up is my yellow, and yeah, I'm starting to need to top up the pink soon. But yeah, they're £10 a bottle of ink and the ink just lasts and lasts and lasts. So I definitely recommend one of them if you want really high quality and that really matters to you. I like the colours that come out of my printer, so I'm fine with it. But if you want really super high quality, then obviously laser printer is the way to go. If you can see, I've ruined my paper a little bit, it got a bit wet. So that's why I'm using this piece for collage. Just in case you're wondering why I'm using a pretty page for collage. But yeah, so that's the printer I use and it works really, really well. I'm really happy with it. You won't get water damage if you get a laser printer. Maybe one day I'll get myself a laser printer if I ever feel it. If I feel the need or the want, come along. You know, but they're quite an investment, printers. But I do recommend this as an inkjet because the cartridges you end up buying when you're printing out these digitals is insane. And it costs so much. I've got a few bits of this grungy paper here that I might just use in a few small patches. I am feeling so much better for sitting down actually, because I was getting really grouchy. People were getting moaned at. Sometimes you just need to walk away, don't you? Just need to walk away, have a minute, and just calm down a bit. Someone might get murdered. Oh man, I'd had enough of life. But in a little while I've got my nephew coming round for a bit, which I haven't seen in so long. I can't wait to see him. So that's going to be good. The kids are going to really enjoy having him round. So that will be nice. And he's going to be round for a little while until Nanny and Grandad are finished. He's going to go off with Nanny and Grandad. He's such a sweet boy, my nephew, really is. He's so funny as well. Oh, he has me in stitches. He's so sweet and funny. Do you know what I should have made? I should have made myself a coffee for this. Could have sat down, enjoyed a cuppa. Let me get this. Get rid of that paper over the side. So when you're tearing, there are two ways you can tear. You tear this way. What you want to keep on this side goes up and the bit that you don't want goes down, and you won't get a white line. If you tear the other way, so the bit you don't want comes up and the bit you do want goes down, you'll get a white line, and that works for left and right handed. I'm ambidextrous, so I can work with both left and right hand. And when I do my artwork, when I paint, I do work both left and right. I swap my brush between the two. I have various ways that I work. So for instance, if I'm ironing, I iron left-handed. If I'm eating, I eat left-handed. If I'm drawing, I draw right-handed. I can write with both my hands. And if I'm painting, I use both hands. So yeah, it's a bit strange, but I've got a left-handed mum and a right-handed dad. And I think because when I was very, very young, I was taught to do certain things with my right hand and then other things with my left. I think I was taught to be ambidextrous more than being born that way. I think it might be a learned behaviour. I've just got to cover this bit here somehow, and I do want to add some doilies places on this one. I've got to make sure I don't go over time today. I haven't got my watch or anything or clock in here, so I need to kind of watch out for that, really. Because I keep getting videos cut off, awkward points, and I'll lose you guys, and I don't know where on earth I was without fully editing, and I haven't got time to like go and edit that part. Because I have played back before, but I can sometimes accidentally lose it just by pushing one wrong button, so I don't want to lose the footage either, because I just don't have time to redo it. Oh, I'm so sorry. Something irritated my nose there. I'm ever so sorry. Don't know what caused that. There we go. So I just want to pop on a few bits of this doily in places. If I want it grungy, I'll grunge it up after the fact. So what I do is when I put doily down, I actually glue the paper, not the doily, because doilies are just a nightmare for ripping and things. So just glue roughly where the paper's going to go. If you've got any bits that are coming up like here, just give it a little bit of glue underneath and it goes down nicely. If you're going to sew this and glue other things on with a heavier glue, you can get away with Prit Stick. If, for instance, you're not going to and you're just going to rely on glue, I would probably use a little bit of wet white glue. When I say wet white glue, I don't mean just tacky glue. If you remember as a kid, PVA was great. It worked fine. You can use a PVA as well. Tacky glue are good for when you're doing something a little bit heavier. Tacky glue will hold down ribbon and things like that. It just takes some time to dry. But PVA, when you're doing something like this, it's just fine. If not, Mod Podge. If you like Mod Podge, I do have some Mod Podge up there. There's all different kinds of adhesives you can use that are stronger than, you know, a glue stick. I can use this little bit so I don't waste it. Put that over there. So I think I'm going to use this page as the one for making journaling cards. I'm just going to check real quick the time. Oh yeah, we've got plenty of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I make the journaling cards. Oh, this is moving because the glue's still wet. Sometimes this happens where the pages rip because they're just too well stuck together, but it's fine. In a little while we're going to be cutting that down anyway. So I'm going to show you how I make the journaling cards. Also, when you're using a book for collage, you can use anything, an old cookbook. You could use, I mean, I prefer anything similar to A4 size, which in America and overseas it might be standard letter size, I believe they call it. But you can use any size, any shape. You could even use the inners of one of your books to be collaging on. You could use cookbooks, old children's school books. I just come across these that were given to me with a bunch of other books that I wanted. And I had a whole bunch of these given to me, these books that I'm using. And I'm not going to use them any other way. There may be some bits that I might find, but because they're so political and things in there, and it's kind of one of those comedy things taking the mickey out of politics. Because of that, I don't really want to use it in my stuff, because we don't need to bring politics into craft. There's enough hatred and miserableness out there. Enough negativity. We don't need that in our hobby as well, do we? So we can keep all that to ourselves. So I don't really want that to be put into my journals, for instance. So before I go on to doing this, what I'm going to do is start covering the back. Or shall I do that after? Which way shall I show you? I think I'll show you after, actually. I think you'll like the after one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my big ruler and my craft knife, if I can find it. My trolley is still disorganised. I have to organise that when I organise my craft room area. So what I'm going to do is just square it up on my mat, because I find that easiest. If it will square up on my mat. Come on. Don't move now. Don't be a pain. There we go. Get my craft knife. Got that up a bit high. Bound to cut myself there, aren't I? Behave. There we go. Now what I do is I do roughly by eye. All I do is square up on this mat. I'm not measuring because I hate measuring. I'm not at school. I don't want to do maths. So what I'm going to do is just square it up roughly. Find what I find to be rough middle. It's okay if it's not. You don't want every journaling card to be the same anyway. And just cut down. The glue is a little bit wet, so if you wait for this to dry, it'll be much better. And then I turn it and I will cut down the middle again. This will give us 4 journaling cards. Of course, if you've done tags and things like that, you could get more out of it. I just wanted to show you how I do my journaling cards this time. There we go, so there's 1 and 2. And then we just bring this one in. Just squaring it off. Rough middle. 3 and 4. So we have those journaling cards. You see all different sizes, but that's absolutely fine. Now if these were dry, I would probably tear them. It gives a really nice look when you tear. I haven't teared them this time, so that's fine. So what I'm going to get is I'm going to get one of my tea stain papers up. So just grip it. This one's come to me. Yeah, there we go. One of my tea stain papers. decide which side is the best. I prefer this side, so turn it upside down to where you want it. Now I'm going to stitch these because I want this to be a sewy journal. If I wasn't going to stitch it, I would use either 3-in-1 or Fabri-Tac, tacky glue, or even a bit of my art glitter glue. One of these will be much stronger than a glue stick, but I'm using glue stick because I will stitch these. So I'm just getting plenty on so it doesn't lift while I'm stitching. If you're going to stitch them, I did say on the last one, make sure you leave it to dry, because otherwise it really will mess up your machine. I tend to put all these together. I haven't even stitched my tags. They're right here next to me. Here's the tags we made last time. I haven't stitched them just yet. I will put them all together and I'll just go and do one massive stitch along. So there we go. Just place that on, and that's how I do these. If I've got any that don't fit on, that's fine. You know, you can butt it right up to the edge. The reason I'm not is because this has gone a bit funny on the edge there. I'll probably use that for collage and put that into my collage pile. I'll show you when I show you my craft room, when I do a little craft room tour, how I do all of my, careful, where I put all of my scrap papers and things. They're all in a box together, and some of them are bagged up depending on what they are and what they're for. So this one won't fit, you see, so I'm just going to pop this straight down here, and all of this will be saved for collage, because there's no need to waste it. You know, we're going to need it at some point. I've got two here. Look at that, look. Oh, they're stuck together. There we go. There we are. Obviously I'll neaten up the edges of things. You know, we've got a few here where I didn't quite cut straight and things. I'll neaten those up near the ends. But because it's a grungy junk journal, you don't have to. I'll leave that one for now, but what I'll do is I'll just pop that onto another piece of tea dye paper as well. And then we just cut around the edges, making sure all the bits are sticking down okay. They may lift a little bit because of the glue not being yet dry, and that's okay. Like I say, I'll be stitching these anyway, so that's fine, but they should stick down eventually, but just in case. And so there we go, we have this bit, and then we have the tea stained back, all backed ready. So that looks really nice. I'm going to leave these ones for a second. I'm going to decorate this one up with you. Show you how I'll do that. I've got a new corner punch which I'm loving, and I'm going to use it. It does a little flower, so I'm going to use that quickly. It's a bit stiff to get through when you've got glue and stuff that's wet, so I don't know if it will go through. We'll give it a try. Yep, that's worked. It's just because all the glue's wet, so it's not wanting to puncture it. So the very next thing I want to do after that, get rid of these little bits. There we go. The very next thing I want to do after that is to ink around before I start putting things on. Where's my lid? Here we go. So I'm just going to get my brush, and I'm not using my sponge because I want to go a little bit into the piece. So I'm just going to go around like this, and also this is good for if you've got any of this white stuff, or if you've not quite cut to the exact edge of the, which I haven't here, the tea stain paper, so it kind of blends it all in. Any other bits I may want some grunging up, I will do. There we are. Now let's look for some things to pop onto here today. What should I put on? I definitely want some butterflies. Let's just have have a look. I've got a big jar here full of butterflies that I print and cut out. Definitely think these ones. And I think I might put a clock on as well, because I'm getting a lot of clocks within this set, within this journal. So I'll just find all my clocks again. I've just got a few bits stored from Tina from Shabby Dabby Doodah that I had stained up. And I used this stain here that I made. This is, just shake it a bit. This stain is on Joe's Jersey Journals. And Joe's is J-O-S, Joe's Jersey Journals. And she made this stain up. And I copied her recipe, and it's on one of her videos. Unfortunately, I can't link the video because unless you're working with them, I think YouTube doesn't like that, if I remember rightly. And you can get in a bit of trouble, I believe. I'm not 100% sure because I'm not sure. I don't want to. But I also want to honour her, you know, make sure you know that's where I got the recipe from. And it's a great recipe. It really works. So I highly recommend searching for her channel and just giving that a go. And it gives this really nice grungy look, and also it has like a, I don't know, like a crackly feel to it. It's nice. So to stick these on so that they won't lift, I'm going to use a bit of my tacky glue. Again, you could use PVA, any wet white glue will be fine. For this, it's just paper. Oh, and it's blocked. How wonderful. Luckily, I don't need a lot. I've got it wonky, but I'm going to leave it wonky. On purpose. One butterfly coming off there. I only glue the middle of the butterflies, and then you get the sort of lifting of the lifting of the little wings there, and that looks cute, I think, anyway. There we go. So there's one. I think I might write like a word on there actually. What word should we go for? Let's have a look. What do I have in here? These are all words that I write and print off. So these ones are dictionary bits I pulled from a dictionary. But a lot of these I write and print off on my computer. Create would be a nice word, wouldn't it? So as you can see, it's stark white against there, and we don't want that. So what I'm going to do is, I am going to get my ink, and I'm going to come in and ink this up, and so it's not stark white. Make it really super grungy. There we go. And then, oops, I'm knocking things all over the place. I'm just going to get the edges of this milled lavender. There we go, make a nice sort of grungy look to it. So yeah, that one was milled lavender. The other one I'm using is ground espresso, in case you want to know, but you can use anything, there's no rhyme or reason. There we go, got the word down. Any tacky glue will do. I'll show you what I'm using just in case you're interested, but it's the fast tack glue. I'm still using this one. But any tacky glue is just fine. I tried the fast tack just because it was the same price as the normal. I wanted to give it a try, but honestly, it does stick a little bit faster. But honestly, I wouldn't pay extra for it. Honestly, it doesn't make that much of a difference. So there we go. There's our first journal card. So that's how you make a journal card out of some of your collage boards. I hope that gives you an idea. And it's just so quick and easy. Once your collage boards are there, you can just pull it out and cut it, and you're ready to go.